Hey everybody, this is Katara Wilson, and I am coming to you right now with a quick video, and it really is focusing around seizing an opportunity, seizing a moment in time that could literally change your life. And I hope that this message is well received by everyone because it is meant for everyone. Please don't feel left out, but I have a very strong connection to moms, being a mother myself. So while I may be speaking to mothers, the whole concept of seizing this opportunity is open and available to anyone who decides to really listen and take heed to what I'm going to share with you. Now, being a mother and being a stay-at-home working mother is an honor, a privilege, and a blessing. I was not always in this situation. I, like so many moms out there, was working a full-time job, a job that quite frankly required a lot of my time. And when I had my son, I didn't go back to work right away because my husband and I invested in that franchise failed, and we literally went down to nothing and had to start over from scratch. It was a very, very difficult and hard time. Our son knew nothing of it. He was completely clueless to all of the turmoil that was taking place beneath the surface. All he knew was that he had loving parents, and that's all he needed to know. But for us, it was really rough. And as a result of that, we had to go back to work. And that was difficult because I had pretty much been home with him since he was born. And by the time I went back to work, he was about two and a half. And so those years of bonding with him and then having to leave him were difficult. I went back to work. I kind of adjusted. Then, a couple years later, I'm pregnant with my daughter. I'm working a very stressful job. Everybody in the department quit. I was working late hours. I was having problems with childcare for my son. I was taking him to work with me sometimes, which was not appreciated at all, trust me. But I was left in a situation where I really had no other choice. And then my daughter was born. I was on maternity leave with her, and then that dreadful day came where I had to go back to work, and it absolutely broke my heart because now I wasn't just sending off one of my babies, I was sending off two of my babies to be in the care of someone else other than me, and that hurt. And it got to a point where it just was enough, and on top of them not being with me and me not being with them, and then having to come home and do the routines, knowing that I was going to turn around and do it all over again, it was just really heartbreaking. But there came a point where we were able to say, okay, we can make this work and you can come home. And as many of you stay-at-home mothers know, well, let me back up. For many working mothers, you understand what I just shared with you, because for many of you, you are having those same types of situations and emotions and feelings as I had. Now, for those of you who are home, who have been able to leave your job to stay at home, you know that that means you're going from 2 salaries down to 1. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Things have to change. And we had to make some adjustments for that, as just about all families do. It's just a reality. Now, you are home with your kids, and it's wonderful. There are those moments where, some extra adult interaction certainly wouldn't hurt throughout the day, but for the most part, you're with your kids, and you love it, and even though they can drive you nuts, you appreciate it. So, the point that I'm getting at is that while you are home with your kids, what you have longed for so long in your heart, a lot of times there comes that feeling of guilt of, my husband is carrying the entire financial load and I'm not doing anything to help. And I know for me, there have been many moments where I felt like I wasn't doing anything to help, not just financially, but I took the idea of finances as being the core piece of how I helped. And I do so much more around here in my family than just contribute to the finances. But I looked at everything as a financial crutch, not a crutch, but a financial disability, that because I wasn't contributing financially, I just wasn't contributing to the family. And that can be hard, and I know a lot of women feel that way. I've talked to them, we've had these conversations, and for a lot of you women watching this, you might feel that exact same way, that you feel guilty because all of the responsibility and the weight falls on your husband's shoulders. We are talking about the mortgage, the car payments, the car maintenance, all of the bills in the house, extracurricular activities for the kids, be they sports or dance, gymnastics, doesn't matter. Scouting, doesn't matter. We're talking about that. We are talking about entertainment, going to the movies, eating out, vacations. We are talking about home improvement. We are talking about caring for aging parents should something happen to them. We are talking about everything that has to do with finances, saving, retirement plans, you name it. It falls on our husbands, and they're one salary, and we are left feeling like, wow, what am I doing to help? So you try to help out in other ways. You stand in the grocery store when you're shopping every week and you compare 2 cans of black beans. Do you get the generic can for 62 cents or do you get the non-generic can, the branded can, for $1.08? You stand in the aisle for what seems like an eternity for just about every item you're shopping for, and you're price comparing because you're thinking about the overall budget and how can you help. If you can lower the grocery bill, you can help out the family, right? So these branded beans over here are much healthier. They have sea salt, the beans, and water, and that's it. You know that's good and healthy for your family. The generic brand over here, regular salt, some stuff you can't pronounce, and some water and the beans. You know these aren't as healthy for your family, but they sure are cheaper. These are healthier for your family, but they cost a little more. And you're sitting there comparing the difference between 62 cents and $1.08. It's not even $1 difference between the two, yet that is where your mindset is that this is how I have to help. And I'm here to tell you it does not have to be that way. And the reason why I am appealing to the moms, not because I'm singling anyone else out. Again, this is for anyone who can take in this information and this message and glean something from it, but because I know I have been there, I have done that, and I understand. I really, really do. And so the opportunity that I want to share with you is an opportunity to emancipate yourself, free yourself from that level of guilt, and do something that can and will contribute to your family's overall well-being. For a lot of us who stay at home, when we start thinking about ways to help contribute to the family, one of the first things we look at are business opportunities, and that's just the plain truth. I'm, no sugarcoating it.